Hello, friends. Well, this is by no ways meant to be a comprehensive collection of all the occult symbolism within Dune. It is just a collection of my own musings and observations as a student of the mysteries, and someone who casually enjoys the Dune franchise and its multiple adaptations. The first thing I want to talk about is the Bene Gesserit, the sisterhood of the so-called witches, who manipulate and pull the strings behind the stage in the world of Dune. They are said to have supernatural powers, but these powers are really based on total neurological and mental control over themselves, allowing them to speed up and lower their heart rate at will, disable toxins by willpower alone, and notice the most subtle clues in body language, which gives them a kind of synesthesia, allowing them to know the true intentions and emotions of others. They can also control their body's hormonal responses, allowing them to produce or shut down hormone production that even allows them to control the sex of the child they are pregnant with. They have the voice, which is an audio neural control mechanism that enables them manipulation of speech to achieve complete control over a receiver. And most fascinating of all is their ability to awaken genetic memory, going back millions of years through the process of Spice agony, in which a Bene Gesserit sister becomes a reverend mother and wields arcane wisdom. And finally, the ability to induce states of consciousness in which they can hypothesize all possible outcomes of a situation, giving them a 360 view of a situation, which is better called prudence or foresight. All these powers springing from total self-control remind me very much of the sheaths or powers attributed to the serpent bloodline and Rh-negative people, but specifically to the product of ceremonial magic, theurgy, and ritual work, as well as yoga, in which the adept learns to control the mind's focus and direction, redirecting energy within to excite the nervous system and produce certain hormones that aid in transcendent consciousness, or, in other cases, controlling body temperature, heart rate, through breath work and meditation, chanting as a way of awakening energetic centers within oneself and awakening genetic memory living within us. The real meaning of witch, related to willow and to bending. Someone who bends to the demon, bending to the ancestral spirit. And of course, the Spice agony is very much related to the star-fire vampire ritual in the occult and the production and consumption of secretions containing certain hormones that cause certain effects, such as longevity, transcendent intelligence, and expanded consciousness. The next thing I want to talk about is the guild Navigators, who have become addicted to the Spice Melange and have mutated into fish-like humanoids, which hints at both the need to periodically re-engage in the starfire vampiric ritual to maintain its effects of transcendent intelligence and expansion of consciousness, while at the same time it refers to the aquatic origin of the Rh-negative serpent bloodline, which is also well known within the mystery schools and passed on through mythology. Through this expanded consciousness, the guild Navigators can see the different paths and choose the best one for safe travel in false space. Another reference to prudence, choosing the best option for the most productive outcome, as prudence or foresight is truly the gift of the serpent bloodline, and why our kind, a separate species within humanity, took on the royal priestly caste roles, being able to see all possible outcomes of a situation and decide the best for the people. My next point is the concept of God in the world of Dune, where truly there's no one deity confirmed to exist, but rather religion is weaponized and used to control people. What all of us who have been persecuted by organized religion know. But what is fascinating is that in the Orange Catholicism, there's a mention of a triune deity that is male, female, and neuter, reminding us of the Egyptian trinity of Father, Mother, and Child, and the occult Kabbalistic concept of how everything in the universe exists in polarity, male and female, black and white, the macro and the micro, electron and proton, and then a third that balances it. Within this understanding, the goal of ceremonial magic is to create the solar body, which is the vehicle of the soul that will survive death, and by integrating the male aspect of our psyche, the ego, with the female aspect of our psyche, the collective unconscious, in the process of individuation, or as we as students of the mysteries call it, the great work. Then there's the fate of the Fremen, who believe that the sandworm is the physical embodiment of their one God who created all of reality, and they call the sandworm Shai Khulud, which means the thing of eternity, as the sandworm's life cycle is truly what allows life to exist in the planet of Arrakis. The sandworm being seen as the physical embodiment of the god of the Fremen reminds me of the occult concept of the Kundalini energy, which is truly life force, and the Ein Sof Or in Kabbalah, the limitless light of God within creation, so bright that it's invisible for us, and being the fabric of reality itself, the dark matter and the dark energy with its Ouroboros eternal cycle of increase and decrease, death and rebirth. Then we have the Mu'abid of the Fremen, Nekwasad Hadarech, which is the Messiah figure that is said to have the power to be everywhere at once, hinting at transcendent consciousness existing outside, or at least beyond time and space, and the awakening of genetic memory and the integration of male and female within the psyche, the great androgen of the Adam Kadmon within Kabbalistic thought, the Ben Elohim, integrating the right path, submission to deity, and the left path, seeking to become deity, into a unified path in which the magician achieves the experience of oneness with creation, Binah consciousness, and the experience of oneness with God, existing outside time and space. Finally, we have the Spice Melange, which is the product of the life cycle of the sandworm in Arrakis. But to me, as a student of the mysteries, it is a clear reference to the Baphomet process and the starfire ritual in which a high priestess of the bloodline will produce rich melatonin, concentrating in the energetic center of her womb. And in turn, her lunar red gold has the effect of awakening transcendent consciousness and induce longevity in those with the correct nervous system and neuroconnections, as the ritualized consumption of her melatonin-rich lunar red gold induces the production of dimethyltryptamine, or DMT, and oxytocin in the brain, associated to expansion of consciousness and the mystical experience, as well as to love, or in this case, transcendent divine love, which is truly the experience of oneness with the all. Well, that's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please comment, like, and subscribe. Until next time, your friend, Cobra Powers.